retweeted a photo of someone's butthole.
Some of that, yeah. Yes,
I gotta turn that off because
Okay.
I'm not really interested in people's buttholes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was once.
Really?
Just
like Kanye and Amber Rose.
What?
You're not familiar with the hip hop, are you?
I don't know Jack.
Right. There's a little bit of.
I know Jack and shit, and Jack left town.
So you know shit.
Yeah.
I think
Army of Darkness. Quote. Give me a 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cord and Tory podcast show.
Yes.
Episode 41.
41.
Man, I'm excited to be back here. I'm excited to see you again, Cord.
Yes, Tori. I'm always excited to see you.
Thank you, sir. You have a very nice plaid shirt on.
I know.
It is so plaid that you could not look whiter.
I can't get mad at stuff like that.
No, you
Tori,
can't.
you are wearing a blue sweatshirt,
Yeah.
and it makes your eyes just pop.
Yeah.
Your
I wear this like
brown
once every
eyes.
3 to 4 shows.
Yes.
Like people are going to know like the extent of my hoodie collection because I have like a gray one, a blue one, and a darker gray one.
You know what that reminds me of, Tori?
What does it remind you
The
of?
movie Spaceballs.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, wait a second. Before we get into today's topics, I just want to say, guys, we are back with a vengeance. We got a new microphone.
Yeah.
We're loving life.
Yep.
It's February already.
It's February.
Holy
Happy February.
cow.
January went by so quickly.
Yeah. You know what day it is today? Tuesday.
It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. That means
Punxsutawney Phil was pulled out the hole.
Yeah.
And
he saw a shadow.
He saw a shadow. So
Yeah.
that means we're gonna have 6 more weeks of
Something like
our
that.
global warming winter.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's basically gonna be summer and tomorrow.
Spring is tomorrow.
All right, fantastic.
But that also reminds me of Spaceballs. Because Spaceballs was made in the 80s.
Yeah, just like Groundhog Day.
I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if Groundhog's Day was.
I maybe be late 70s.
But guys, the big news on the market this week is Mel Brooks has announced that they're gonna try to make Spaceballs 2.
Yes.
After the huge success of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, a bunch of people were saying, "Hey, Mel, we want more Spaceballs."
Yeah, we do.
Tori, did you love watching Spaceballs?
I
growing
did.
up?
I did. And I saw it recently again too, within the last year, just to see it again. And it packed quite the punch that it did when I was a kid. That when the first time around that I saw it, it was still just as funny and just as hilarious.
Yeah.
And this one sounds like it's going to be even more funny because it's called Spaceballs: The Search for More Money.
Ooh, wonderful. Yeah.
And I think it's like the Jew Awakens. That was one of the taglines I saw
that
earlier.
would be awesome. Or the Schwartz Awakens.
The Schwartz, yes, there we
Yeah,
go. The
yeah.
Schwartz Awakens.
That's
what it is.
So, yeah, you're right. Some comedies just don't age well.
Yep.
Especially like, what is this? A farce? Is that
Not
technically
a
or
farce,
a
but
parody?
it's definitely
Yeah.
a parody. It's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite comedy of mine is Blazing Saddles.
Sure.
It doesn't the comedy's all about timing, not just comedic timing, but relevancy as well. And I think some of the relevancy kind of stayed in the 80s and when the movie came out. So things aren't as funny, but I still think that if you watch it, you can appreciate the humor, especially that it had when it was topical.
Sure.
So, but this Spaceballs, I think Spaceballs is going to be an all-time comedy hit because Star Wars is an all-time successful movie.
Yeah. It doesn't age out.
Yeah,
at least
not
not
at all.
yet.
Yeah, and the original Spaceballs movie was released in 1987, 4 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
they really
It was
that's
that
interesting.
long.
Yeah, it was that
long
after Star Wars was over.
Yeah, I thought it was would be between
In the
4 and
heyday,
6.
yeah.
But no. Okay.
And unfortunately, the whole cast is not going to be in the
No.
show, because we've lost. I didn't realize this until recently, but Joan Rivers was the damn robot, the gold robot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
That was quite funny.
I didn't put that together. And then, of course, John Candy, who played Barf, was that his name?
Yeah.
He passed away years ago of a heart attack, I think.
But here is some potential news.
Ooh.
Rick Moranis might be interested in coming back in this movie.
Oh, good.
To reprise his role. He hasn't been really active since Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which is the I think 15th movie sequel of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But the Hollywood Reporter revealed that Rick Moranis is indeed, quote, looking for the right project.
Yeah, I think, it says here he passed up a cameo in Ghostbusters, which is interesting. Yeah, hopefully he comes back, and I think Bill Pullman is locked in and everything. But it's such a fun universe that they made, and I love Star Wars to death, and Mel Brooks isn't really making fun of Star Wars, but it's just making fun of like the fact that we love Star Wars so much, probably.
Now, I saw Spaceballs as a kid. Have you ever seen the Family Guy parodies of Star Wars?
No.
Okay, they're actually pretty good. I'm gonna encourage you to watch that. You can watch it on Netflix. I actually have it on DVD for you too if you want to watch it. Now, those are really funny, but I think I have to credit Spaceballs for some of the humor that the Family Guy parodies use, because I don't know if I would like them as much. And I give Family Guy their credit for making theirs original with, of course, their own characters of Peter as Han Solo and so on and so forth. Yeah. And Meg as always an ugly alien. But I think that they get a lot of the humor and a lot of inspiration from the original spoof of Star Wars, which is, of course, Spaceballs. Yeah. So that actually led to other films being made in the same parody genre.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it almost as much as the next Star Wars movie.
Okay. Almost as much.
Yeah, almost as much. Tori, tell us what you've found on the interwebs today.
Well, there's a new trailer for a movie that came out just today, ladies and gentlemen, and it's called Miles Ahead. If you're not familiar with this movie, you've never heard of it, it is the biopic of legendary jazz musician Miles Davis, and it is starring Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle is also making his directorial debut with this movie as well.
Cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
So
we just watched the trailer.
What were your thoughts on it?
Don Cheadle has really Christian Baled himself into this role. It does
with the voice acting.
It obviously looks like Don Cheadle, but he speaks, and you're just like, holy cow, he is in something right now. So that I thought that was nice, and it was an entertaining trailer. I would watch the movie.
Sure.
I think it looks good.
Yep.
I don't know. I literally know nothing about Miles Davis.
Okay. Except that he played a trumpet.
I know that now.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought his hair was different. Am I thinking of somebody else who had the wavy hair?
James Brown.
Yeah. That was a biopic.
That was a biopic. Loved it. Starring Black Panther.
Yes.
Jackie Robinson.
Yes.
Yep. Do you know his name?
No.
Okay. It is. I had it on the tip of my tongue
just
a minute ago. No. Chadwick Boseman.
Boseman. There we go.
Boseman? Is it Boseman?
Probably.
Chadwick
Davis?
No. It's Chadwick Boseman, I think. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway. So Cord, you love this trailer, right?
I liked it.
You liked it, and you would see this movie.
Yeah.
Would you see it in the theater or would you see it on DVD?
DVD.
Why do you think that there are some movies that people want to see in a movie theater and some people want to see, I'll just wait till get it on DVD or wait till it comes on Netflix?
Why some people say that to themselves?
Yeah.
Because it's, going to the movies is hard. I'm not kidding you.
Especially you're a father and you have a family, you have these responsibilities.
Totally.
If you didn't have those responsibilities, do you think you would go to the movies, or do you think that you would just still watch it in the leisure of your own home?
My I don't know what you want to call it, but my threshold for liking a movie
enough to go to a theater.
Yeah, it grew after I became a father, and
yes.
It was harder to go to the theater when I was single and stuff. I remember seeing a lot more movies.
Of course.
I think the last movie I saw before getting my girlfriend and then now wife was not Gladiator. That was so old.
Oh my God!
Robin Hood.
With
Russell Crowe.
Oh, what a terrible movie
It was so
underwhelming.
Under everything.
Underachieving, underwhelming.
But getting back to it, my threshold has risen. So and unfortunately, Miles Ahead just
doesn't make that.
Yeah, it's lower. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of movies that are under my threshold now.
Yep.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I love that franchise. I had to rent that though because I couldn't get to the theater.
Right.
You know,
Okay,
it just
gotcha.
wasn't high
Did you see number 2?
Oh yeah,
How was it?
It's fantastic.
Okay, good.
I was so pleased with it.
Okay.
So if you like Hot Tub Time Machine 1, you gotta go see Hot Tub Time Machine 2. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Hot Tub Time Machine is about a hot tub time machine.
Plain and simple.
It is fantastic.
All right. I actually was not too much of a fan of the Miles Ahead trailer.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is I don't particularly like the it feels like the same formula of all these musical biopics. Ray, Walk the Line,
the one we just
Get
talked
On
about.
Up,
Yeah.
James Brown movie. They feel like they have the same origin story in the same formula, where you show him as a kid with a troubled life, and the only thing that saves him from going to jail or getting out of jail and restarting his life is his passion for music. And then he starts a band, and he becomes successful, and then he finds this woman, then they get in love and have a baby, and then he starts to find this other woman in which he cheats on his wife, and the wife has this really huge scene saying, "I treated you like the best thing in the world, and how could you do this to me?" And they break up, and he finds a new wife, and then he loses all of his money, and his manager stole the money and didn't tell the tax, the IRS that where the appropriate funds were going, and it seems like the same formula over and over again.
Describe at least 5 movies.
Absolutely, and that's what I feel like. It seemed in this Miles Ahead trailer. Now, I'll probably still see it, all that said, but I'm hoping that it'll be different. Now, my favorite movie of those, in which I have seen all of them that I named, has been not Walk the Line,
Ray.
not Ray.
Get On Up.
Get On Up.
Okay.
Yes, Get On Up. I think Chadwick Boseman should have deserved an Oscar nomination for that movie. I thought it was better than Ray. Ray was a fantastic movie, don't get me wrong. I just thought it was better than Ray, and not enough people saw Get On Up, and I really think it's a movie that deserves your attention.
Cool. Go take a few steps back, 'cause
Yes.
that's really interesting to me. You said this genre, this mini genre,
Like a biopic, this musical
musician biopics.
Yes.
They're very formulaic, and I totally agree with you. But what do you think is the solution for that?
Oh man,
Like, do you stop making these biopics, or do you make them in a different way?
I don't know. Unfortunately, it's they're based off of true events, and you know, some people have the same, not the same, or similar, you know, coming up stories about how they get famous. I do know for a fact, because with every movie there's a little bit of theatrical dust and sprinkled on top of it, and you know. But I don't know how you get around it. It's I don't know. It's kind of like how we saw these same back in the 90s, the same like military movies like based on a true story. Kind of like the new what's the new one with Chris Pine, who on the boat.
Finest Hour.
The Finest Hour. It's kind of like the how they stopped doing all the movies kind of like that, like the Finest Hour. One, they took a break from them, but two, I think this is one of the first ones about the Navy, whereas all of them were about the Army or the Marines or the
This one's about the Coast Guard, actually.
Coast Guard. Yeah, there we go. Exactly. So that's something a little different.
Well,
I don't know.
How about this idea? Like, could you see a biopic instead of a 2-hour movie turn into a 10-hour single season show?
Like a miniseries?
Like a mini-series.
Sure, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be better, actually.
That would be a different way to handle it.
I think that the viewership would probably decline the longer this miniseries is.
Sure.
But it's a different format to tackle. And maybe if it was like a 2 to 3 episode event, okay, I could do that.
You think, yeah. If honestly, it's like word of mouth is everything.
Absolutely.
So if people came to me and said, you got to check out the new Miles Davis
Miniseries.
3-part miniseries.
Yeah.
It's 6 hours, but it's fantastic.
Sure,
it's
sure.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a miniseries / documentary at that point.
Yeah.
Whereas
you're right.
Whereas if you do a
Which would be
3-hour
great.
movie, it's just a biopic and which has the same formula.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that it's better than I'm giving it, but you know, I have a a cautious, very cautious thumbs up to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yep.
What is going on next? What are we talking about next? We are talking about...
Now, there's an actress who I'm pretty fond of, who first of all, I didn't even know she was in the Hunger Games until she was on some show, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you might recognize me from the Hunger Games or 30 Rock or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a minute, who are you in the Hunger Games? And I had no idea that she played the very extravagant...
I don't know her name.
May the odds forever be in your favor person who said that.
Spokeswoman person.
But Elizabeth Banks is in the news. Why is she in the news, Cord?
The wonderful and beautiful Elizabeth Banks is in the news because she has just signed on to play Rita Repulsa.
Yep.
Now, you're probably scratching your head saying, Cord, who's Rita Repulsa?
Well, if you are, then you were not a 90s child.
Yeah, you weren't born then.
You weren't born then,
maybe.
you youngster.
Yeah.
But Rita Repulsa is the original main villain in the original Go Power Rangers series. Now, I think this is phenomenal casting. Phenomenal casting.
I think you're totally right.
Especially seeing and now knowing that she was in the Hunger Games as his character, she can do a lot of broad characters, but still make them seem fun.
Yes.
I'm also a big a fan of hers from the series 30 Rock, which is one of my favorite series of all time.
Was she a regular on that?
For a couple seasons, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She married Alec Baldwin and had a son with him. Yes,
funny.
A kid with him.
I'm a big fan of her because she hails from my hometown.
Ah, okay.
Elizabeth Banks is from Western Massachusetts. I believe she either grew up in or around Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and I went to high school in Pittsfield. I went to a high school next to her high school, and I have like friends who know her and stuff. So small world. Elizabeth, if you're listening, Cord here. How you doing?
You're married, Cord.
I'm just saying hi.
Hey, man.
I can look.
I may be married, but I'm not blind. Yeah. Effie Trinket. That was the name of the character she played in the Hunger Games.
I
Effie
still
Trinket.
have blood coursing through my veins.
All of my veins. Now, this is very interesting. What do you think about this? Were you a fan of the original X-Men? Well, not the original, but X-Men First Class?
Is that the show?
No, X-Men First Class. The first X-Men movie with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Is that the name of it?
X-Men First Class.
Yeah, I loved First Class.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because the same writers of X-Men First Class are writing the Power Rangers reboot as well.
Beautiful. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's another reason to look forward to the Power Rangers movie.
Their names are...
Ashley Miller and Zach Stintz.
Yeah.
Yes.
X-Men First Class is a fantastic movie. Not just as a superhero comic book movie, but as far as like a team fighting movie that ends in such a great, impactful way with a huge that ties things really nicely.
Especially because there was so much criticism over the first 3 X-Men movies. They were saying, you know what, we don't want to see an X-Men movie. It was done so poorly. Let's go ahead and do it anyway. This is a perfect movie to acknowledge what so many people and fans and critics were thinking, saying, okay, the first 3 were terrible. You know, we're going to go ahead and do this. And was Bryan Singer attached to First Class?
No, he produced it.
Okay, he produced it, but he was
trying to remember the director's name.
I forget that. But anyway, shout out to the producing team and director of X-Men First Class for taking this franchise that wasn't so popular and then making a movie that kind of rekindled the faith that all the fans had in it and kind of really started it over. And how it ended, they could continue from there and go in any direction they wanted to and kind of just sweep the first 3 movies under the rug and say, hey, forget about those. We're going to start over anew here.
Just to add on that, like they proved a lot of people wrong by doing that, and they opened the door they gave other studios a lot of inspiration and confidence in doing movies like this, where you're saying, hey, here's this timeline, but we're gonna jump 30 years into the past and tell this story.
Exactly.
And this X-Men First Class is such a good movie and just did so many things for the franchise.
Matthew Vaughn.
Thank you.
You
He directed Kick-Ass, and he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
The Colin Firth spy movie about the kid that came out last Valentine's Day. Kingsman.
Yeah. I didn't see that. It's on my list though.
Yeah.
But Power Rangers, Cord.
Yes.
Power Rangers.
Our main topic today, folks, is about the Power Rangers.
Yep.
So
now, again, you watched it as a kid growing up, right?
I watched. I don't know if I've told you this story, but
Okay.
my brother and I knew Power Rangers was going to start.
Okay.
And we're like, what is Power Rangers?
Yeah.
What is the show?
Yeah.
So the first Saturday it came on. Rita Repulsa was in
Yep.
the episode and everything.
She was in her little jar.
And her henchmen and stuff.
Yep.
And after the episode was done, Cash and I watched every single second of that damn thing.
Yeah.
As soon as it was done, Cash and I ran into the kitchen and we were jumping up and down. We were like, Mom, this show is amazing. You have to believe it. There's 5 ninja dudes and they're different colors. And we just went on. And my mom was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. But
Good.
Don't tell me about this show.
That was like one of the defining shows of the 90s childhood.
It really was.
Childhood.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I had a book that foretold everything, all the upcoming Power Rangers series, like when they went to outer space and Jungle Force and Dinobots and all that stuff.
It wrapped all of the stories.
It said, hey, after the original Power Rangers ends, it's going to go here and then there and there in the Power Rangers Galaxy, and I lost the book, but it was fun to see what we had to look forward to as kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch after the first run.
I didn't really watch too much further
because they made those movies. I remember seeing those movies.
Yeah, I remember seeing the movies.
Yeah. And then I stopped. Well, then I grew up.
Yeah,
I was like, this is I can't keep watching this. I'm 15.
I can't. I gotta stop. Start watching Pokemon now.
My girlfriend doesn't want me to watch Power Rangers anymore.
She wants me to watch Sailor Moon with her.
And Dawson's Creek. What the hell?
Oh man, that got a little real for a second over there.
Anyway,
how many seasons of Dawson's Creek did you watch?
I never watched a single episode.
Oh really?
I pulled that out of my
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can't believe Dawson did that in the last episode. So anyway, the main topic is Tori and I spoke earlier, and we got into kind of a fist fight about this.
Yeah. We cleaned it up really well before it came on the air.
Yes, a lot of makeup. And basically, Tori, I was arguing. My argument was, I want them to do a Power Rangers ensemble movie as much as the next guy, but I think it would be smarter and better for the characters if they did somehow, whether it be a movie or a TV show or something, show the individual characters a little bit before you shove them into an ensemble movie.
Yep, and I completely disagree with that.
Tori got really offended.
That just goes against the original storyline and original story of Power Rangers.
Okay, so tell us what you see this movie accomplishing.
I think that you can have a solo movie, but it would be a sequel and a spinoff of the original ensemble film. Mm-hmm. You're putting the cart before the horse, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. In the original Power Rangers, there were 5 teenagers who were all going to Angel Grove High School.
Good pull.
And they were recruited to be Power Rangers at the same time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like one started before the other. So you have to have the original. So you have to have the original like storyline, because it's not like Captain Planet, where all these people were. I mean, they were recruited at the same time too.
Use your Marvel example,
but from different origins. What's my Marvel example?
Well, Thor and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So like the Power Rangers are not the Avengers. The Avengers all had their own storylines and all their own villains and everything first. So you had Thor was his own character in comic. Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America. They were their own They had their own series and their own stories before banding together and becoming the Avengers, Team Avengers.
Yes.
Power Rangers not like that. They all came together at the same time.
I can see why they got these writers from X-Men First Class, because X-Men First Class is a great example where you take, the story is about, creating this team of superheroes, not one by one, but as a team, and having to and throwing them in the fire immediately.
Sure.
The latter half of the movie is essentially that. And Power Rangers is going to be something like that.
I should hope so.
Yeah. I guess, like, you make a really great point. You know, they did it all at the same time.
Yeah.
They were learning with each other.
Right.
Not necessarily alone. Billy is just a nerdy kid with glasses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until him, Kimberly, so-and-so, and so-and-so.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
together.
no. You're not allowed to say so-and-so and so-and-so.
at me.
You're not allowed to say so-and-so and so-and-so.
Billy,
Yes.
Jason, shut up. Kimberly.
Yep. I quizzed you on this earlier last year.
Episode.
Yes. Kimberly, Billy, Jason.
Lisa.
No.
Nicole.
No.
Zach.
Zach. Yes. And you're not going to get it because you got stuck on it last time.
What is it?
Trini.
Oh, Jesus.
Trini.
I wasn't even close.
No, not at all.
Wow, Trini.
Yes.
Okay. But your point's great, and X-Men First Class is like. I guess what I'm saying is this movie better make damn sure that it shows their relationship just as much as it shows the action, just as much as it shows the villain, just as much as it shows the world.
Sure.
Because without that, you're gonna have Fantastic Four again.
Right. I concur.
Where you have these guys like, oh, hey, they're hitting these beats, like, oh, they're learning, and oh, this one's funny, and that one's really smart and coping well. Like, those movies are hard to do. It's been proven year after year after year. And, you know, Power Rangers is going to be, it's an uphill battle. It definitely is.
Now, I think it's really interesting that they're starting with an original and the original villain from the series as well, and not creating their own.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I think that's I can't wait to see what they're going to do with her. I can't wait to see if she still has her her stick in which she throws down to earth to make the monsters grow and to building size monsters, and that's why the Power Rangers have to get their Borgs, not Borgs, they're battle bots. The robots are Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, Tyrannosaurus. They're Dinobots.
No, that's from Transformers.
That's right. Whatever they are, I forget what they are, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see what they do with the Rita Repulsa character.
Do you think here's another?
I wonder if they're going to bring the putties back. That'll be fantastic. I can't wait to see that.
Those gray guys.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly how they sounded.
I'm gonna cut that clip out.
Yeah, they sounded like turkeys almost.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, those gray ninja dudes.
Yeah,
basically the foot, only gray.
Yeah, the exactly.
Teenage
and they were
Mutant
from
Ninja
putty, made out of putty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they called them the putties.
Oh.
Because remember when you hit the diamond on their chest, they would break apart and kind of look like Play-Doh pieces, scattering across.
I watched
your TV
that
screen.
show for hours and hours.
Man,
and I never would have gotten that memory unless you would have told me.
Yeah.
That is weird. Here's a question. I'm kind of excited just to even ask this.
Sure.
Do you think Tommy is going to be in this movie?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I would.
He definitely will. He definitely will.
I don't know though. So here's the thing. I want to say two things. One, remind me about the second thing. But I thought that he would have, and he's been, vying for a Power Rangers movie for decades, since the last
the actor
round.
himself?
Yeah. I forget his name.
I'm impressed that you.
I forget his name.
You've been keeping tabs on Tommy.
Well, yeah. He's been he started going to MMA and he became an MMA fighter.
Right.
He recently was in the news because Bat and the Sun Productions, which if you're not a fan of them, I suggest you go like them on Facebook. Bat and the Sun Productions pit superheroes against superheroes from alternate universes. So he was in one.
That stuff bugs me. I don't like that.
You don't like that?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's just not. It's not on paper. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. It's a great idea on film too. So anyway, he was the Green Ranger versus Scorpion.
Yeah. See, that bugs me.
Why?
It's just. I don't know. I just don't know.
You don't
Carry
like
on.
you don't like mixing universes?
I that's a little bit, but also it's they just wouldn't fight each other or something. Or it's
sure,
one
one's
would
good,
kill
one's
the other
evil.
instantly. Like Batman versus Predator. Did you see that one?
Yes.
And there was
Batman wins. Batman wins versus
Batman
anybody.
Does not win.
Sorry, he wins versus anybody.
Predator, never mind.
Yeah, Batman does not win versus Darth Vader, which he doesn't. But the combo Batman Superman versus Darth Vader, that could happen.
Don't bring up the goddamn Superman thing.
Have you seen that Bat in the Sun production? I'm gonna forward that to you. We'll put the link on our site.
All right. Write this link down.
But so here's why I think that I would love to see Tommy, but I'm not so sure that they'll bring him in because they're bringing the original character of Rita Repulsa. Now, because that's the original character, it puts the timeline at the beginning again. Now, Tommy came later on, and he's from the original series, so he can't be like a mentor of a new breed of Power Rangers because they have an original villain.
Sure, but he wasn't a mentor. He
wasn't an original Power Ranger, but he was like the 6th Power Ranger.
Right.
That came on in like the 2nd season as the Green Ranger originally.
Here, I'm gonna look up because he was like a new kid at school, right?
Yeah, he was like a transfer.
Yeah,
he was a transfer, and then
that trope is so old. The new kid at school.
Yeah, but it works so well.
It does.
It works so well.
You hate. He's mysterious at first.
Yep.
And then he goes after your girl, and you're like, oh, I hate this kid.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then he's cool. Then he turns into a bad guy, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So remind me. He's the transfer, and then it's a love triangle between him, Kimberly, and Jason.
Correct.
It's so funny how
as kids, we knew
TV
that.
news.
We knew that.
Yeah, media is like getting us used to love triangles
Absolutely.
and stuff like that.
So that's why I don't think he'll be back as a Power Ranger or as a mentor because they just announced that they're going to have the original villain as Rita Repulsa. Do I think that he's going to be in the movie? Probably so. He'll make a cameo as a different character, but not as a Power Ranger, or a mentor of. He might be like the karate trainer of Jason, maybe, but he's not going to be a mentor as of yet. He might, you know what? What if he was like the voice of Zordon?
I don't understand. Oh, the actor you're saying?
Yeah, the actor. I'm sorry, not the character.
Oh, okay.
God, I forget what is his name? Tommy Frank.
His name is Tommy Frank?
I'm pretty sure it's
Tommy Oliver was the character.
Okay, wait, something Frank.
I love how you're. Jason David Frank.
Jason David Frank, yes. Jason David Frank is the actor. Okay. So I believe Jason David Frank will make a cameo in the movie.
I don't care about the actor. I care about the dang character.
Well,
do you think there's going to be like a shot of like him at school, and it's like, oh, who's that guy? And it's like, oh,
at the end of the movie, yes,
that's Tommy.
At the end of the movie. Right before
that's Tommy Oliver. He just moved here.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie, before they go to the credits, setting it up for Power Rangers number 2. That's what we're going to do.
Revealing.
Yeah,
him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the character, yes. Hey, maybe Jason David Frank will be a teacher at Angel Grove High.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would be good if he was the karate instructor or the gym teacher. Or
something. You know. I don't remember there being too many teachers in the original series because they always usually just sparred against each other. But
you have a great memory.
My God. I mean, this was my show. Show.
Well, dude, this was my show.
Well, okay, all right. But anyway, Cord, back to the solo part.
I just have a bad memory. Yes.
I do think that you can have a solo film of the Power Rangers movie franchise after you have the original ensemble film. Which do you think would be the best character to have a solo film of from the original 5, not including Tommy's character?
Not including Tommy.
Correct.
But so I'm gonna ask questions because I just don't have an answer. Like, would it be it wouldn't be an origin story. It would not be, right?
No, it would not be an origin story.
So it would just be like, oh, he's on an adventure all by himself.
Correct.
Somehow.
Yeah. He might be on on a secret Zordon sent him on a secret mission or something.
As far as I remember the characters, I'm just trying to think of the most interesting one.
Again, Jason.
No,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess either Billy or Jason.
Billy or Jason.
Because I could see like Jason would need to learn more leadership skills.
Okay.
And like, here's a story about him being a better leader.
Okay.
Learning, how to be a leader. Or with Billy's case, like Billy was the nerd.
Yep.
I don't know how his bravery stacked up.
Sure.
Those tend to, in my head, that's like an opposite.
Okay.
I just got a lot of nerds mad out
there.
I
feel you on the Jason. Totally disagree with Billy. I think that would be the most boring solo movie ever. But I think Kimberly could have a great one, especially for the female fandom for the Power Rangers.
She's Finn, basically.
She's what?
Not Finn. Rey from Star Wars.
Yeah, you could that's an equivalent of or similarity. I think she's a powerful female. She was every boy's original crush as well.
Her and Topanga.
Oh my God! Right? Don't get me started. Topanga
right?
still looks good.
Am I right?
You are 100% accurate there, my friend.
Woo!
Yes. Boy Meets World, ladies and gentlemen.
But
I think Kimberly would have a great movie on herself by herself. What was so funny there? Just because I think
slip. Anyway,
I think that would be a great.
What would her movie be about?
Her just looking pretty and kicking butt. No, I think that she has like. It would be probably a movie about her proving to the team that she was always a stronger character, but I believe that she didn't necessarily get too many fights on her own. I would kind of think that it would be something linking to the other four. Like the other four were trapped, and Kimberly's the only one that could save the day, and she has to go through all these hurdles to save the rest of her team so they can become the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers again or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. All while dealing with a period.
Don't say that. I like the solo films are a good idea. I would love to see them explore the love triangle.
Sure.
Like it's really important to me that they go down that path.
Absolutely. That's going to be movie number 2.
Yeah, because it's like, Team
with
Jacob.
Lord Zed.
It's Jacob versus Edward, and then Kristen, whatever.
Yeah.
Bella or whatever.
Sure. Team Jacob.
Because all great movies, Star Wars love triangle, Twilight love triangle.
Yeah.
That's the only two I can think
of. Star Trek love triangle.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Kirk, Spock.
Kirk, Aurora, and
Spock.
In Spock, yeah.
In this round, was there one in the previous ones?
I believe there was. No, I think it was always those 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was always those 3.
Oh, I didn't know Aurora. Okay. Point proven.
Yeah,
love triangles work.
They work. It adds conflict. It's one of the most easy conflicts you can add to any story.
And it's real. It's just fun to like. Here's 2 good guys.
Yeah.
And here's nothing to do with their overall battle.
Sure.
But it's love.
It's just drama.
Yeah,
and stress.
Drama.
Which all of us can relate to. Have you ever had like a love triangle? Have you ever been in one or seen someone who's been in one?
None that I wish to speak about
okay.
on a recording device.
Sure. But, not about yourself?
But I'm trying to think of one from my life, perhaps. Nothing comes to mind, but I remember it's just so juicy, when they happen, and you're like, oh, tell me all about it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's good water cooler talk. It's good gossip. It's good, for when you're at the beauty salon getting your hair did with your girls.
Yeah.
You talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, easy conflict for any situation. If you're ever stuck in a movie writing process and you're like, man, this is a good movie. I have jokes, I have adventure. There's no conflict though. Hey, who needs an evil villain when you can just put another hot guy in the mix?
Yeah.
Or another hot girl.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see too many of the 2 women, 1 guy trope.
No, you don't.
Do you ever? Gosh.
I'm trying to think of that. It was in Bridesmaids, it wasn't the it was a love triangle over friendship. It was a friendship love triangle.
Great way to put that. Yeah.
But it wasn't a traditional love triangle.
Right.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Unfortunately, there's not too many female-driven mainstream movies that come to mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll change in the near future.
Hopefully Star Wars does that. Flip the record there.
Sure,
Rey and get another girl in there, and
Yeah.
like Finn's like, come at me.
Yeah.
Big deal here.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a big deal here. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
We're
yeah. You can
tiptoeing.
try to resist me. Resistance is futile, though.
Whoa.
Ba-bam.
Tory's smoking
Coming up
gun
with
here.
it, guys. But yeah, I think the Jason or the Kimberly solo movie would be a good solo movie for the Power Rangers franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly have to secede here. Tori, you were spot on, man. This needs to be an ensemble movie to start with. Then I think it can either do a little solo movie, which would be fun, but I think the love triangle is where it has to.
I would like to see an Alpha solo movie.
What the hell does that mean?
Alpha. Remember the robot that was in the cave with Zordon? Aye, Rangers. Remember that?
Another 10 impression right there.
Right?
Yes.
That was like spot on. Now, I would love to see a not a solo movie, but a crossover movie
Oh, God.
with Alpha and R2-D2.
No.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal. Aye. Boo, 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 boo.
Where did that technology come from in the movie? Like they just show up at this base
with Zordon? Yeah, I don't. It was never
and who
explained.
the hell is Zordon?
You don't remember who Zordon was?
He's the picture. He's the guy.
He
the hologram, right?
Yes, and he's actually a real person too. Rita Repulsa actually captured him in one of the later episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, and they had to like rescue him from like the ship or whatever. I think she had a ship that was floating in space, and they had to go and rescue him. It was like the only time that the Power Rangers, or at least some of the Power Rangers, went on her ship. Ooh. And it was a rescue mission for Zordon because they broke into the Power Rangers lair and stole Zordon, and he's in that metal tube because it's kind of a life preservation container.
Okay.
And without that, he would die.
I see.
Yeah.
So he enlists the power of he enlists the help of the 5 Power Rangers
to save the planet.
To do his bidding.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Well, to help save the planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his in Alpha is the one who helps around, the maid of the lair.
He's the robot.
Yeah.
The weird robot.
Aye, Rangers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Alpha and R2-D2? They're on BB-8. Maybe C-3PO. Oh, no, okay. An Alpha and C-3PO movie. That would be so great and so annoying at the same time. And very funny.
I'm just gonna.
And then you bring in Tommy and Luke Skywalker. Holy cow!
I don't like where this is going.
Holy cow! I'm gonna sell this to Lionsgate, guys, and mark my words, this is gonna be a box office sensation.
Because Tommy is the Han Solo and Luke is the Jason. Leia is Kimberly.
Exactly.
See that?
And Alpha is C-3PO.
Alpha is 3. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Totally right.
All right, before we end this show, we want to talk about something real quick.
Let's get serious here.
Yeah,
for
let's
a
get
second,
real.
guys.
Let's get our deep voices on.
We get a little deeper.
Yeah, real sentimental. Cord, take it away.
Take it away. So, guys, we just want to be, we want to share great, powerful, and impassioning things with you every once in a while. And we came across this week. Tori read it today. I read it a few days ago, and we really loved it, and we wanted to share it with you guys. Basically, Chris Pratt, the star of Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World and all this other awesome
Parks and
stuff.
Rec.
Yep. He has an awesome Twitter account. I follow it.
And Instagram too. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Instagram. I follow
Pratt.
Yeah, I follow the Instagram account, and every once in a while he does posts of just whatever, him fishing or him playing with his kid or whatever.
Sure.
But the other day he posted this photo. Basically, the photo isn't too much. It's just him driving in a car on the Atlanta freeway.
Yeah. Him riding in a car.
In a riding
transport
in a car.
van, most likely.
And basically the caption went like this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and read it to you guys. It's 3:20 a.m. I got picked up for work at 6:45 a.m. yesterday. I'm not good with math, especially after being up for approximately 61 hours, but I think I've been up for over 77 hours.
That's a joke. That's funny.
I did a table read for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 this morning and then shot all day on Passengers and just now wraps some 144 hours later. Weirdly, both films, which I'll be shooting back-to-back, are being shot in Atlanta at Pinewood Studios. We have the best crew, total rock stars busting their asses, and the stuff we're shooting, my God, I can't wait for you to see it. I go back in about 8 hours to do more. I am doing what I love. It doesn't feel like work, even though it is. I'm having fun. I'm overcome with joy and gratitude. I feel like posting this to say to anyone out there chasing your dreams, 15 years ago, I felt the same passion I feel today, but I had very little opportunity. I had to hustle hard and go hungry. I had to eat sardines and figure out how to get gas money. And I never had a plan B. I never stopped believing, ever. Don't give up. Apply constant pressure for as long as it takes. It will break before you do. Go get it.
I'm going to repeat one line. It will break before you do.
Go get it.
Go get it, guys. So, really lovely note of inspiration from Chris Pratt. So thank you to him. And I hope that you guys find that message to be inspiring to your lives and your individual career, no matter if it's in the entertainment industry or anything other than
basket weaving, whatever.
Basket weaving, absolutely. Yeah. But we wanted to end with some positivity on this episode, guys.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. Tori, where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Cord and Tory Show.
Yes, and on Facebook, search the Cord and Tory Podcast Show.
Yep.
And on YouTube, do the same thing, Cord and Tory Podcast
You can listen to this podcast via iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher.
Yes.
And YouTube as well, if you like looking at our faces.
Yes. And don't forget to leave a review on iTunes. That really helps other people find the show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, guys. We look forward to the Super Bowl this coming weekend.
Oh, yes.
What do you want to say about the Super Bowl?
I forgot. Go check out. There's going to be a ton of movie trailers dropping. Hopefully Civil War. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for sure. Fingers crossed, maybe a Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And,
maybe.
And take a look for all the commercials this time as well.
You might see this guy.
You might see me.
Fingers crossed, too. You might see him.
Fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah.
But go Broncos or go.
I don't care.
Cardinals.
Go Penguins.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Go Lakers, ladies and gentlemen. Asla bye-bye.
Yeah. See you next time, guys. Thanks so much.
Episode 41. We're out.
Out.